Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudhiraye Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistiki. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 11 and Text 30. Trilokyam Dahyamanayam Trilokyam Dahyamanayam Shaktya Saṅkarṣaṇa Agnina Shaktya Saṅkarṣaṇa Agnina Yanti Ushmana Maharloka Yanti Ushmana Maharloka Janam Bhṛgu Adayaha Arditaha Janam Bhṛgvadayorditaha Trilokyam Dahyamanayam Shaktya Saṅkarṣaṇagnina Yanti Ushmana Maharloka Janam Bhṛgvadayorditaha. Trilokyam, when the spheres of the three worlds, Dahyamanayam, being set ablaze, Shaktya, by the potency, Saṅkarṣaṇa, from the mouth of Saṅkarṣaṇa, Agnina, by the fire, Yanti, they go, Ushmana, heated by the warmth, Maharloka, from Maharloka, Janam to Janaloka, Bhṛgu, the sage Bhṛgu, Adayaha, and others, Arditaha, being so distressed. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swamy Srila Prabhupada. Translation: the devastation takes place due to the fire emanating from the mouth of Saṅkarṣaṇa, and thus great sages like Bhṛgu and other inhabitants of Maharloka transport themselves to Janaloka, being distressed by the warmth of the blazing fire which rages through the three worlds below. Please repeat: the devastation takes place due to the fire emanating from the mouth of Saṅkarṣaṇa, and thus great sages like Bhṛgu and other inhabitants of Maharloka transport themselves to Janaloka, being distressed by the warmth of the blazing fire which rages through the three worlds below. Text 31, I will read it by myself. Tavat tribhuvanam sadyaha kalpantaidita sindava plavayanti utkata topa chanda varteritormaya. Translation. At the beginning of the devastation, all the seas overflow and hurricane winds blow very violently. Thus the waves of the seas become ferocious, and in no time at all the three worlds are full of water. Purport. It is said that the blazing fire from the mouth of Saṅkarṣaṇa rages for 100 years of demigods, that is 36,000 human years. Then for another 36,000 years, there are torrents of rain accompanied by violent winds and waves, and the seas and oceans overflow. These reactions of 70 to 1,000 years at the beginning of the partial devastation of the three worlds. People forget all these devastations of the worlds and think themselves happy in the material progress of civilization. This is called Maya, that which is not. The Sanskrit Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Militam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamin Nitinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So when Brahma's night starts coming in, there is a devastation in the below planets. And then how that happens is explained here. Trilokyam Dahyamanayam Shaktya Saṅkarṣaṇa Agnina. So Lord Saṅkarṣaṇa, in the form of Ananta, he releases a great fire, Agnina. And then this is by the potency, Shaktya, by the potency of Lord Saṅkarṣaṇa, a great fire emanates, and then Trilokyam Dahyamanayam, it burns all the worlds. The heat is spreading everywhere. At that time, Ushmana Maharloka, the fire has reached, the warmth, the heat has reached even Maharloka. And who is staying there? Bhṛgu Adayaha, the many saintly persons headed by Bhṛgu. And then because of the unbearable heat, it is mentioned Maharloka Janam. They try to transport themselves to Janaloka. Ardita, because they are very distressed by that heat. And that is in the beginning of the devastation. What is the process? That is explained by Prabhupada. He says, once this fire starts spreading, when Lord Saṅkarṣaṇa emanates that fire, actually all the planetary systems, they are resting on the hoods of Lord Ananta. Ananta is also known as Shesha. One of the functions of Ananta is that he holds all those planets on his hoods. Ananta has unlimited hoods, and then he holds all those planets. Bhagavatam and Chaitanya Charitamrita explain that Lord Ananta is so unlimited in his body. Thus, these planets, such big global spheres, they appear like small mustard seeds. That means Telugulo avalu is like that, like small mustard seeds on his hoods. And the same Shesha, he also acts as a bedstead, bedding for Lord Vishnu. We see on Ananta, Lord Vishnu reclines always. So our Acharya has clarified that the Shesha, which is holding the planetary systems, is by the direct potency of Saṅkarṣaṇa, and so sometimes he is also referred to as Saṅkarṣaṇa, Lord Ananta, who is holding these planets. So this Saṅkarṣaṇa, he releases the fire at the time of devastation. The Shesha, who is acting like a bedstead, he is a devotee incarnation. And then he gives comfort to Lord Vishnu. So that Shesha is there with us. We worship him every day. And he is the bedstead for Lakshmi Narasimha here. He is standing. So, yes, so interesting. And then that fire rages on. The fire begins from Patal-loka. It is said that the whole 3 planetary systems are there. And below the Patal-loka begins the hoods of the Ananta. And the Garbhodaka ocean is there, Shesha is there, and Vishnu, Garbhodaka Sai Vishnu is lying, and from his Nabhi comes Radha Govinda. The lotus flower, and in the stem of the lotus flower all the planets are positioned, the 3 planetary systems, but they are carried by the hoods of the Lord Ananta. And at the time of devastation, Lord Ananta releases the fire. So obviously the fire begins from Patal-loka. 12th canto Bhagavatam explains. And then from there it rages on and reaches to various planets because of the violent winds. Here it is mentioned, Vata, Chanda, Chanda Vate Ritor Mayaha. Chanda Vata means violent winds. They carry this fire and then it is spreading all over the universe. And so the sages who are peacefully doing their meditation and all those pious activities in Maharloka, even they are disturbed. And immediately to save themselves, they are rushing towards transporting themselves to Janaloka. So, how long this fire spreads in this universe? It is mentioned that it goes on for 100 years of demigods. 100 years of demigods equal to 36,000 human years. So this is that's the time for which the whole fire is spreading in these universes, burning everything down. Then Prabhupada says, for another 100 years of the demigods, there are torrents of rain. Sometimes in summer we see this phenomena. During the day there is a scorching heat, very hot. And suddenly we see in the evening it rains. Right? So a similar phenomena here. There is a scorching fire and then immediately there is a rain, torrents of rain, accompanied by violent winds and waves, massive waves. And then that's the time the seas and oceans, they overflow. Till then those oceans will not overflow, although they are full of water. But then at the time of devastation, because of the torrents of rain, they all overflow. Everything is a process. And process is set by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everything is a process. Every entity has a process, and they have a limitation. There is a control. It's not that the oceans can overflow on their own. There is a control. It's all control. So even devastation requires control. It cannot be indisciplined. So we see all that in this world, and it's all set up. There's a fixed timelines for all this destruction. So there is a gradual destruction. 36,000 years of fire, 36,000 years of rain. See how systematic it is. Even destruction requires like that. For example, to make this temple, you have to remove the rock. So removing the rock means, there is a destruction. Initially, there are two methods are there. Initially, we have used one method where control is not so easy. They use some small, like bomb material, and then there is a blast. So you can see in the first portion there is a blast in that wall. Then we realized that it is too difficult like this. Blastings are you will not be able to control. So there is one more costly method is there, where you can slice the rock like a bread piece. They'll chuck it slices, and those are the slices on the next portion. And we felt, oh, this is all very nice, whereas this bombed place is not very good. It's not looking nice. We were talking to one consultant, say how we can cover it up so that it also looks like that. And that person said, Swamiji, I am seeing a waterfall here. Why you want to cover it? And that's how we converted that into a waterfall. So destruction cannot be indiscipline. Everywhere you see this discipline. In the material nature, discipline means sattva-guna. It has to be. Everything has a process. Everything has a process. Everything is disciplined. And it is set in place by the Supreme Lord Himself. So, yes, this torrents of rains, and then all these three worlds are full of water. Imagine it's a big mass of water. Very, very panicky. That they are the devastation waters. It is said that when Brahma, once he saw these waters, devastation waters, immediately, he, from his mouth, the Vedas fell into the waters. And then the Lord takes the form of a fish and saves those Vedas. So, Lord's pastimes always goes on. Whether it is devastation, whether it is creation, or whether it is maintenance. The whole material existence is His Leela. Always, in all the three phases of material existence, Lord is active, and Lord's Leelas are active. So, Prabhupada is saying, people forget all these devastations of the worlds. There are so many devastations. Okay, these are very massive, universal scale, happening for 36,000 years and this and that. But in our lifespan also, we have seen many devastations. For example, in 19, 20, 21, we saw it is not long, say two and a half years or 3 years. We all went through one massive devastation called COVID. Everybody has. But then Prabhupada says, they think themselves happy in the material progress of civilization. Although we have seen such a big devastation, now everybody is happy because of Chandrayaan 3. At least India is celebrating. Many people are celebrating. Material progress of civilization. It's a progress. It is a material progress. And then they think themselves happy, forgetting all the devastations. Just recently there was a huge wildfire in Hawaii. In America there are Hawaii Islands. Prabhupada visited there. And so there was a devastating fire. And that's it. It has cleaned up one entire land, one island, an entire island. Everything is burned down. Houses are burned down. Many people died. They have actually a lot of systems. Whenever there is a wildfire, alarm bells ring, then people will immediately start evacuating the island. Sometimes there are tsunamis. So they have a lot of systems built in to alert everybody. But this fire was so rapid because it was aided by powerful winds. Chanda Vata. There is a small devastation here, and that spread like anything, and then all the houses got burned down. Many casualties. All the alarm bells and systems, everything failed. They could not alert. Some people are criticizing Google that you not alerted us. You give all kinds of useless alerts. But then when there is a real fire and we have to escape, there is no alert. Everybody is criticizing like that. So, but this is natural. In this world, you can only expect this kind of devastation. Surprisingly, when they are taking these photographs of that island, many houses are burned down, but one house, without any problem, it is remaining like that. Everything is almost like ash color, but this is remained as it is. The bricks, everything is there. Everybody is going and asking that owner, what did you do? You got escaped. He said, he thought for a while and he said, I don't know. How he saved himself, he himself doesn't know. Actually it is, everybody is thinking, okay, accidentally he got saved. No. Devastation is not accidental. Every devastation is disciplined, controlled process. There is a process. In this devastation, for example, who has to survive, whose houses have to survive, it's all been decided. There is a process. Even devastation is not allowed to happen in discipline. All the demigods are managing. So, particularly the demigod by name Rudra, he manages all these devastations. And the super soul of Rudra is known as Saṅkarṣaṇa. So, the Lord infuses devastations through Rudra, through demons, through snakes. So many agents are there in this world. Saṅkarṣaṇa's agents are there, causing all this devastation. So, even in this island was burned down, according to the destiny of that particular house, that is not supposed to be disturbed. He has a good destiny. Some pious credits are there. Now the fire is spreading all over, this way, that way, air is blowing, it all looks indisciplined. It all looks, completely, there is no control. You have no control. That's okay. Human being has no control. But despite all these things, one building is supposed to be saved, got saved. And people inside who are sleeping, because all this happened in the night, who are sleeping, they are saved. See? So nothing is accidental in this world. Destruction, creation, maintenance, everything is control. There are big empowered personalities who are controlling these three functions in this world. And then, the point is, Prabhupada is saying that how can you think yourself happy by seeing some so-called advancements in this world, by forgetting all these devastations. We are seeing one by one, so many, but we have forgotten all that and we are happy with something. Some tiny advancements. For example, you go to the moon, there also devastations will be there. You will not be spared there also. There will be devastations there also. In what way devastations will happen, that is not known to anybody. You go to any other planet, go to the highest planet called Maharloka. Maha is very, very high, very great planet. From there also, Bhṛgu Adayaha, they are all running away because there is a fire that is coming from Ananta. And of course, this is only a partial devastation. And at the time of full devastation, similar phenomena, but at a bigger scale, the fire even reaches Brahmaloka, burns down the whole universe. The inside, whatever is been manifested, everything it burns it down. Then comes the rain, fills up the whole universe with the water. Very, very violent, very, very dangerous. There are some people who survived even these devastations. They are the sages like Markandeya Rishi. They have some blessings, and they can see even in this devastating water, they are able to manage. So these are the descriptions. Bhagavatam is alerting us. Tavat tribhuvanam sadhya kalpitadhaitita sindavaha. This is the nature of this world. So somebody thinks that, I want to make permanent settlement in this world. He is in something called Maya. That which is not. Maya means that which is not. If somebody thinks, I want to be permanently situated here, that very thinking is Maya. Why? Because nothing is permanent. What is actual fact? Nothing is permanent. But he is thinking, I want to be permanent. That which is not permanent. He is in a place which is not permanent, but he is thinking, I want to be permanent. So this is called Maya. Maya begins like this, thinking. So to counteract Maya, one has to hear truth, the absolute truth. If somebody becomes nishnata, absorbed in this truth, then he can cross over the Maya's effects. Illusion has no place when truth is there. Illusion has no place. That's why Krishna Surya Sama, the truth, the absolute truth is Krishna Surya Sama. And Maya Andakar. And then if there is no Krishna, then there is illusion, Andakar. So, you may say, no, who thinks that they can be permanent here? Everybody thinks. This is the greatest surprise of this world. That everybody thinks that he wants to be permanent. He wants to have a permanent building, for example. And that building should survive for millions of years. That is his thinking. He wants to use the strongest materials to build a building. Why is that? Permanency. What is driving him? Tendency for permanence. But people who know that this is an impermanent place, they are more interested in their permanent life. They start making steps. They start taking steps to build up their permanent life. They don't want to waste one single moment. How can I build my future permanent life? Because anything big I may do in this world, there will be devastation. Somehow by your tapas, let us say, you have built something which is going to stay for millions of years. Finally, Ananta's fire is there. It is not going to spare you. As soon as Brahma's day is over, night is about to set, everything will be devastated. Prabhupada says example of one rishi called Lomasa. Rishi, the great sage. And he has one blessing. What is that? The blessing is the number of hairs on his body. For each hair, he can live 1 day of Brahma. That means just 1 day of Brahma goes, that means he survives this devastation. Only one hair goes from his body. Then there are so many other hairs are there. So one day Narada Muni sees him, Lomasa Rishi, he is chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So Narada Muni, maybe to test him, he says, why don't you, you are standing like this here and there, under the tree and all that. Why don't you build one hermitage? And then you can stay nicely. And Lomasa says, no, I don't have much time. Before I die, I want to perfect my life. So I want to complete my chanting. Doesn't want to divert his attention to build one hermitage. And what is his lifespan? We cannot even build. And then, but look at the people. Their lifespan probably will be 60, 70. Actually, after 60, his energy is, all these things comes down. By 70, he cannot even walk properly. If at all he moves to 80, then he will have all kinds of problems. Nowadays, cancer is there, this is there, that is there. Devastation will come. You may name it as cancer, you may name it as diabetes, you may name it as BP, whatever. There are all various names, but devastation is devastation. Ultimately, this body will be destroyed. Their span is only that much, but still they want to build big things for themselves, as if he is going to stay permanently. That's why Prabhupada is saying, this is called Maya, illusion, not understanding what is the nature of this world, what is my nature. Yes, you want to be permanent because that is your nature. That's the nature of the spirit soul. Nothing wrong. But you are trying to be permanent in a wrong place. So the Shastras are encouraging, don't remain in this wrong place. You go to permanent place. Our permanent place is Krishna's abode. Go back to Krishna, go back to Vaikunta, that is our permanent place. People are trying to go to moon, trying to live there, to become happy. Tendency is there that they want to go from here to somewhere where they may get better life. But we can see even Maharloka, that is beyond Chandra, beyond so many. Even in that loka, the people are not happy. They have to rush and try to go to higher loka, Janaloka. There also it is not sure that he will be free from this Ananta's heat. There also he may have to progress further. So this, although the tendency is there to find some better situation in other planets, Shastra is saying you will not be safe. You will not be safe anywhere within this universe. So the better is we don't focus on becoming big in this material world, but rather develop your permanent life, so that one day you can transcend this material creation, go beyond it and reach our permanent place, Vaikunta or Goloka. Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
హరే టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక. ఇప్పుడు మొబైల్ యాప్ ద్వారా కూడా సులభంగా పత్రికలు చదువుకునే సౌకర్యం, వార్షిక సభ్యత్వం, భగవద్గీత, భాగవత ప్రవచనాలు, స్ఫూర్తి సందేశాలు, ఇంకా మరెన్నో సదుపాయాలతో హరే కృష్ణవాణి మొబైల్ యాప్ నేడే డౌన్లోడ్ చేసుకోండి. మరిన్ని వివరాల కోసం కాల్ చేయండి 9133107700. హరే కృష్ణ గోల్డెన్ టెంపుల్ వారి మరో అపురూప కానుక హరే కృష్ణవాణి ఆధ్యాత్మిక మాసపత్రిక.